That's okay though. And Becky with the good hair, I hope you learned your lesson, boy. You need to shut your goddamn mouth. You ain't a man amongst men. I don't want to hear shit else from you. You can pass out weed. I heard Yuck Mouth say it on the podcast. You cool because you showed up and passed out weed. See, that's what I'm talking about. We got to get stupid ass niggas like you out of our culture. That don't mean you cool, bitch. You should have been passing out book bags, you dumb motherfucker. You should have been passing out some hope to these children. But no, what you want to spread the fuck around is that you some type of tough nigga. Because your emotional ass had to jump your motherfucking gate, bitch. That means you wasn't welcome there. You one of them sadistic, suicidal, crazy son bitches. How the fuck you gotta jump the gate at your own house, bitch? You a goddamn shame. Not only was a nigga in your house, you gotta jump your own goddamn gate. God damn, you ain't welcome, boy. Just like you ain't welcome in none of these real man conversations. So shut your goddamn mouth, bitch.
Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakah, Kadash. That belongs to elders, citation to the election. And a lot of our people are at ease and they're comfortable here. And this is not our rest. This is not our rest. And you have to be in the spirit of rising and departing. You know, making haste. This is the year of a hastening. And really seeking the Lord 10 times more. And doing everything and all that you can. Putting your whole heart and all your strength into building up our people. Because what you see on the mainstream media and everyone that like views, you know, all the popular and famous, not just in this troop, but in general, like Kevin Samuel. Now you have Kwame Brown, but they're not pushing the right spirit our men should be in. You know, contentious, strifeful. You know, and see the thing is, what's different with us? We're different because we contend for the gospel, we contend for the faith. But a lot of these guys, as you can see, they contend for the flesh and nigga this and this and that, and just it's all personal. It's not really the business of the Lord. You know, everything's just personal. You know, it's very demonic and it's very carnal. You see, and a lot of guys, you embody those guys like Kevin Samuel and Kwame Brown and what's the other one? Dr. Umar, right? And those aren't the true leaders of our people. They're all sold out. From those that are black extremists and black movement, whatever. You know, and also guys, even in this truth, you know, all they talk about is, you know, vocab and men, other men. But when it comes to Yahweh Shai, the main man you should be talking about, the man of the hour, so to say, you know, at the 11th hour, right before the midnight, guys is real quiet on that, you know, and they'll bring it up, but they won't really like bring it out with the force and with the strength. You see, Amos 6:1. Woe to them that are at ease in Zion. Seen a lot of our people, the only reason they watch videos and they have the social media, this platforms, is just to get entertained, man. To get entertained, to laugh. Haha, look what he said to him, haha, you know. And that's why the Lord's going to kill and destroy a lot of our people. It says, woe to them that are at ease in Zion and trust the Mount of Samaria, which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came. Jump down verse 3. Yea, that put far away the evil day and cause a seat of violence to come near. You see, so they do violence to the law, man. You see, they harm the truth. They destroy it. It says they put far away the evil day, right? They act like it's not near. It's not gonna come soon. You see, they say the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. That lie upon beds of ivory and stretch themselves upon their couches and eat the lambs out of the flock and the calves out of the midst of the stall. You see, they take advantage of our people, man. That's what that's going into, of their ignorance and of their folly. You see, because the Lord said those that believe on the name, let's go to Malachi chapter 4:2 says, but unto you that fear my name shall a son of righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and he shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. So the calves and the lambs symbolize what? The nation, our nation. But our people take advantage of them, right? And they tell them the smooth things and things they want to hear and make them laugh and make them excited. And then they, they just, our people are very charitable and giving. Then they just give them all their money and all their energy, you know, and their worship and praise. And they distort and they cause them to forget Yahushai. You see what I'm saying? The austere man. This is the Father's business, the truth. You see, and they speak their lies. They speak men's truth, which is not truth at all. It says that chant to the sound of the viol and invent to themselves instruments of music like David. So they act, a lot of guys, they act like they about the house of David, but they're not going through the things that David and his mighty men went through, the hardships. You see, all the enemies that came up against them, not just Goliath and the heathens that they had to stand up to, but also of our own people. Saul trying to throw javelins, trying to put out hits for David. He had to flee into the forest and hide himself. You see what I'm saying? That drink wine in bowls and anoint themselves with chief ointments, but they are not grieved for the affliction of Joseph. You see, so a lot of guys, they don't really care about the sheep. And that's why the Lord said 3 times to Peter, if you love the Lord, feed his sheep, feed his lambs. Guys ain't feeding them with this word, with this manna, with this truth, because it's been hidden from them. Habakkuk 1 and verse 3, why dost thou show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that raise up strife and contention. You see, that's what we have, man. And let's get that word for strife. The Lord says strive for the truth unto death, not strive against man and, strive for the Lord. That word strife is a quarrel, a controversy, you see. And so the Lord, he's about to, let me get this as well. All right, this is Hosea 4:1. It says, hear the word of Yahweh. You see, so that's what you have to be speaking, the words of the Heavenly Father through his son Yahushai, which is the embodiment and the volume and the completion of the word of the Lord Yahushai. And look what our people and the ones that are high seats and high positions, look what they did back then, and they're doing it now today. They disregard, they ignore, they hide their face from Yahushai, they hide their face from us, those that really have the word. And we don't teach and preach ourselves, we teach and preach Yahushai. It says, hear the word of Yahweh, yea, children of Israel, for the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. You see, so there's no truth, man. No mercy. You guys don't have no mercy on each other. Because if you don't have Yahushai, and if you're not getting mercy from the Lord, then how are you going to show mercy to your brother? And that's what we see. The curse has devoured the whole earth. And guys talking about, oh, I'm an alpha man. Yeah, alpha this. Really, they're betas, and they haven't really grown up. Though they might have more money than us and more of a high position, and they had better careers. That doesn't matter, bro. The Lord doesn't care about the flesh or the things of the world. Hosea 12 and 2. Hosea 12 and 2. You know what? Verse 1 says, Ephraim feedeth on wind. And that's what the prophets have become. The prophets have become wind, and the word is not in them. You see? Wind has no depth, has no mass to it. The word does. That's why the Lord said, I have meat, ye know not what of. It says, Ephraim feedeth on wind. You see, don't feed on the meat, the lamb, Yahushai. The word, which is the weightier matters, things that weigh a lot, that are more important. And followeth after the east wind, he daily increaseth lies and desolation. And they do make a covenant with the Assyrians, and oil is carried into Egypt, right? So they make a covenant with death with the heathens, man. All these different platforms. It says, the Lord hath also controversy with Judah, and will punish Jacob according to his ways. Because they're not in the way of the Lord, they're not on the straight gate. They're not suffering because of Yahushai and the word. They're suffering because of their ignorances, man, and their sins that are weighing them down, and their iniquity that lifts up themselves. It says, according to his doings will he recompense him. So that time is coming. Philippians 1 in verse 12 says, I'm going to start verse 9. And this I pray you, that your love, which love isn't just a word or a kiss or a hug. Love is discipline, and receiving the Lord's discipline, his correction, his reproof. Says, and this I pray, that your love, feeding the sheep, serving, right? Serving the meals, serving the food to those that are hungry, right? That's what we're doing. And the busser and the waiter, the waitresses, they're not really treated kindly all the time. You know, sometimes they're not even tipped. Sometimes people just take off and leave, don't even pay their bill. You know, it's a tough job. You see, and you're not praised by it. You know. Philippians 1:9. And this I pray you, that your love may abound yet more and more in knowledge and in all judgment. See, and just like Micah said, surely I am full of power to show Israel their sins. So you have to have power to be able to show our people and lift up your voice like a trumpet, not being uncertain, but certain of what's going on. That ye may approve things that are excellent, that ye may be sincere and without offense until the day of Yahushua, being filled with the fruits of righteousness which are by Yahushua Mashiach, unto the glory and praise of Yahweh. But I would ye should understand, brethren, that the things which happen unto me have fallen out rather unto the furtherance of the gospel. So the things that happen unto us, right, throughout our time, this truth in our walk with the Lord, being defamed, being told by high elders, high chief priests, and this truth, oh, don't listen to them, they're demons, oh, you know, it's speaking evil of, being hated of all men, just as Yahushua was hated of all men, those that were in the synagogue and the temple at that time, back here today. You see, it was all for the furtherance of the gospel, so that this gospel could reach its higher levels. You could see more of who's really of the Lord and who's really not. Because a lot of guys, they have information, right, but they don't have the spirit. They don't have the word of life. They just put on a big act, a big stage. You look at that saying, the world is a stage. Yeah, there's many actors, man. There's many hypocrites that claim to say that they're someone, but really they're not. Says, so that my bonds in Yahushua are manifest in all the palace and in all of the places. And many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing confident by my bonds, right, by our example, by our suffering, by our persecutions, by our imprisonments, right, by our channels being taken down. These are all being a good example unto the sheep and what to follow and what not to follow. Don't follow guys that are trying to save their life. And how they show they're trying to save their life? They're trying to save their goddamn YouTube channel, man, the social media platform. And that's the same thing. Let me get this real quick. That's the same thing that the ones that were exalted and had positions and high seats, which outside said, do not seek the high seat, take the low seat. And then wait for the Lord. Be patient. And the Lord will tell you, oh, come up hither. Get a higher seat, my friend. He'll exalt you. John 11 and verse 47. Then God, the chief priests and Pharisees, a council, and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles, and by us doing many miracles, because the Lord said, greater works shall we do, because the Lord is with the Father right now. They're also having this council again today. They're gathering themselves together against the innocent, against the righteous, saying, what are we going to do about this? He's doing many works. He's doing this. He's doing that. You see? If we let him thus alone, this is why they couldn't leave us alone. All men will believe on him, and Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. You see? And that's what they was all worried about, man, was keeping their place, keeping everything together. But the word of the Lord is not about keeping things together. It's about destroying the wicked. It's about dividing and separating the good from the bad, the right from the wrong. That's what this word is really for. And guys ain't using this word for what it's used should really be used for, which is an abomination, man. All camps. See, and we're going to keep on saying, because why? It's the truth, and we lie not. It's the truth in Yahushua. All camps, Sakari, ISPK, Great Millstone, it doesn't matter what camp you may be in. Guys put the camp over Yahushua. And I ain't righteous. I ain't letting everything be done in decent order. That's confusion. That's madness, man. That's out of order. And when something's out of order, it cannot be used. And a lot of guys are not using the word, man, or how it's supposed to be used. Philippians 1 in verse 11, being filled with the fruits of righteousness, which are by Yahushua Mashiach, Right? We read that. Let's go jump down to verse 14. All right. And many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing confident by my bonds, are much more bold to speak the word without fear. That's why Yahushua said, don't fear them that can kill the body. Don't fear man. Don't fear the multitude. Have no respect of persons. You see? Not just Esau, but also our own people, man. That's why the Lord told Jeremiah in the Jeremiah 1st chapter, do not be afraid of their faces, lest he confound thee before them. You see? Because the Lord making our forehead stronger than their forehead. Because what's on our forehead? The spirit of prophecy. Being occupied in prophecy. Being in the Lord's order. Being structured up and built up. See? And like it says in Revelation, on their forehead they have the name of the Father and the Son. You see? Before anything we do, we always keep the Lord first. It says, Philippians 1 in verse 15. Some indeed preach Yahushua even of envy and strife, and some also of good will. The one preach Yahushua of contention, not sincerely, supposed to add affliction to my bonds. Right? They're trying to add more of a burden to us. Oh, call Esau. Don't even say vaccine. Be scared. Be scared of Esau. Be scared of losing your life. Be scared of losing your YouTube. But the other of love, knowing that I'm set for the defense of the gospel. When you're defending something, right, you don't want the other person to get a point or to score on you, you see? So you're all over them, wherever they go, you're going too. You're trying to take the ball away from them, just like basketball, you know what I'm saying? You're denying them the rim, you see? And that's what we're doing. We're denying these corruptible men, the incorruptible men, the immortal, the penny. We're denying them from perverting the gospel. You see, we're not letting them to score a quick one. You see. So let me get that word for contention. So check this out. The one preacher outside of contention, right? Not sincerely. So we see them, right? We see them. And we pinpoint them. Now the word contention.
Strong's G 2052. Erithia.
All right. Now check this out. It says intriguing for office. All right. Apparently in the New Testament, a courting distinction, a desire to put oneself forward. A partisan and fractious spirit which does not disdain low art. Says partisanship, fractiousness. Let's get over for fractiousness. All right, it means irritable and quarrelsome, typically of children. You see, immature. Now let's get that word for partisanship. Right, it means bias, prejudice in favor of a particular cause. Bias. A lot of guys are biased, man. You see. They're all about their own cause, their own camp, their own movement. And they're not really about the word like that. Yahushai. Now check this out. It says, this same word was found before New Testament times only in Aris, and then, goes into it, where it denotes a self-seeking pursuit of political office by unfair means. You see that? Paul exhorts the church to be one in the mind of Yahushua, not putting self forward or being selfish. James 3 and 14 speaks against having selfishness or self-promoting in your heart. Beautiful. Matter of fact, let's get that precept. And a lot of guys, they put themselves forward instead of what? Putting Yahushua forward, man. Yahushua is the first. Yahushua is the one counsel amongst 1,000. Yahushua is the main master. He is the master, and we all brethren. But a lot of guys, they're false brethren. James 3 and 14. But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. So that's what they are. They're earthly, devilish wisdom. And they lie against the truth. You see? And that's why the way of truth is being evil spoken of. Now, that word contend, all right, contention in the Edom Online, it also meaning a violent effort to obtain something. You see? And what are they trying to obtain? That corruptible crown, man. The praise of men. They want the glory now. They want the fame now. They can't wait. They couldn't wait. They couldn't be patient. They couldn't lower themselves. They couldn't humble themselves. And power is only given to those that are willing to lower themselves to pick it up. See, matter of fact, let's go to Matthew 23, because what these guys are doing, Not even one of their fingers, man. They won't even move themselves with one of their fingers. Check this out. Matthew 23 and verse 4. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne. You see, it's supposed to add affliction to our bonds. Oh, if you're not in my camp, you're not part of the elect. Oh, you have to worship men. You have to worship men. You have to put men over Yahushua. You see all this bullshit. Because that's exactly what it is. It says, for they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne. Yeah, they say, oh yeah, carry me too. Well, I sit on my high seat, carry me. Yeah, come on my comment board and like me and watch my video all the time. Nah, man. See, and Korah and Dathan and Abra, they're going to get a lot of people destroyed, man, because of their pride and arrogancy. And putting themselves forward above Yahushua. Like a fucking idol. See? Yeah, a lot of you guys, you're not Israelite. You're American idols, man. And lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. Oh, I have to keep my subscribers. I have to. Weak ass niggas, man. They make broad their phylacteries and the larger borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, and call the men Rabbi, Rabbi. You see, and you wonder why guys never bring out Matthew 23, because why? They are Matthew 23, man. They are. And it's woe unto you that are easy. It's woe unto you, damn false anointings and false apostles and prophets, man, that living in pleasure. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 1. For yourselves, brethren, know our entrance in unto you, that it was not in vain. Right? When we came on the scene, it wasn't on some like, you know, oh, here comes Stone Cold Steve Austin. Everyone's cheering him on, praise him. Yeah, woo! You know, girls getting naked. Nah, it wasn't on nothing like that. It was on like when we entered into the arena, it was like on some like they were throwing tomatoes at us. Kill him! Yeah, no, get him out of here. He doesn't belong here. No, that's how our entrance was, man. You see? But even after that, we had suffered before and were shamefully entreated as ye know at Philippi. We were bold in our God to speak unto the gospel of God with much contention. Woohoo! But our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in guile. But as we were allowed of God to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak not as pleasing men. Let me read that part again. Not as pleasing men, but Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which trieth our heart. So our heart is being put to the test. And we're passing these tests, man. Flying colors. And even Paul said this in Corinthians. Alright, 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 23. Ye are bought with a price, and that price is not money. It's not tithes. Alright. It's Yahushua's blood, his precious blood, which is far more expensive, way more it costs way more than fucking this corrupted money, man. This evil, worthless money. It says, yeah, bought with a price, but be not ye the servants of men. You see that? Be not servants of men. Proverbs 22 and verse 9. He that hath a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he giveth of his bread to the poor. And that's what we're doing, man. We're being very charitable, right? You know, and we're not holding back from what we know. We're actually giving this bread of life out as well. You know, not just carnally, but more so spiritually. What our people really need is this hidden manna, is this word, and is this truth, man, which is far more fulfilling than a piece of bread. All right, it says, cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. So just like Yahushua and the men of the Lord, they'd cast out demons. They'd cast out men that weren't worthy to be in the temple. They'd cast out those that were buying and selling and not using the temple and the truth for the right reasons. Because cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. Yes, strife and reproach shall cease. He that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips the king shall be his friend. So the Lord, he called his friends, because we know exactly what our master is doing. See, Yahushua is our master, not men, not an elder or a camp head. No, man. Yahushua is the head of every man. Yahushua is the master, and all ye are brethren. But a lot of guys don't go into Matthew 23. A lot of guys, they keep that blind from the rest of the sheep out there. Neither will they enter in themselves. Proverbs 22 and verse 12. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, and the overthrow of the words of the transgressor. So the words of transgressor, the sins of our people, they're being overthrown, man. They're being overthrown. It says the eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, right? To keep knowledge. See, and if our eye is single, then guess what? We understand the vision and we perceive what the Lord is seeing. He shows us what's going on in the darkness too. It says, he overthroweth the words of the transgressor. And that's what we see happening. Romans 2 in verse 2, it says, where we are sure that the judgment of God is according to truth against them which commit such things. You see, let me jump down to point verse 8. All right, verse 6 says, who will render to every man according to his deeds, to them who by patient continuance and well-doing seek for glory and honor and immortality, eternal life. But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath. So that's what they obey. They obey things that are contrary, that are adverse to Yahushua. They're satanic. See? Tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentile. But glory, honor, and peace to every man that knoweth good, to the Jew first, and also to the Gentile. For there is no respect of person with God. So everyone's going to get what they rightfully deserve. You see what I'm saying? And no man's going to be able to save you, or like it says in Esdras, no man's going to be able to save him that is destroyed, nor oppress him that hath gotten the victory. You see? Proverbs 18 and verse 4 says, the words of a man's mouth are as deep waters. You see? So when guys tell you, oh, don't get deep, they're too deep, demon, that means they're the demon. They're shallow. They're not, their heart is not all in the Lord. See, they're going two ways. And the Lord said, cursed be the sinner that goeth two ways. Says, the words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook. It is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips enter into contention. You see? Doing things so that they can be first. And there's those, let me get this real quick, because there's those that they're first in their cause, but then the true neighbors, the real brothers, search him out. Proverbs 18 and 17. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just. And that's what they're contentions for. That's why they want, like 3 John 1 and 9, Demas. Loving having the preeminence. What want to be first all the goddamn time. You see? But the Lord said the first shall be last. You see? And the last shall be first. It says, he that is first in his own cause seemeth just, because it's deceitful. But his name cometh and searcheth him. And that's the candles. That's the men of the Lord that's actually shining light on all these topics that need to be spoken on. You see, they're not going to be partakers of the darkness of the wicked. Rather, they're going to reprove them. They're going to be hated in the gate, not in the forest. Proverbs 18 and verse 7. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down to the innermost parts of the belly. You see, the innermost part of their mind, where they process things. He that also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster. So a lot of guys, they're brothers and they're friends of those that are great wasters. They waste the oil, right? And the lips are the snare of his soul, because they take away from the scriptures. They're scared to call things how it is. You gotta call things out for what it is, man. Not being scared of what's gonna happen. But a lot of guys, they're just they're scared of the repercussions. They don't want to really suffer persecution or lose things. They want to gain the world. They want to keep their place. They want to keep everything together. But the Lord's like, I don't want everything to be kept together. So a lot of guys are not using this word in the right way. So therefore, the word is going to be against them. It's going to really destroy them. This is a weapon, like in the video, a two-edged sword. So you have to be holding it and yielding it the right way, or you're going to get yourself and others around you killed, because it's very dangerous. 1 Corinthians 11 and 16. But if any man seem to be contentious, we have no such custom, neither the churches of God. Now in this that I declare unto you, I praise you not, that ye come together not for the better, but for the worse. For first of all, when you come together in the church, I hear that there be divisions among you, and I partly believe it. For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be manifest among you. So those that are really approved in the spirit, they're being manifested. And see, when Yahushua came on the scene, there was divisions because of him. So as Yahushua is coming close and the Spirit of the Lord is becoming more potent and heavier right now, you see a lot of divisions in this truth. You know, Lord's dividing the righteous from the wicked, the lukewarm against the fervent, the contentions against those that defend the gospel and are sincere. You see, Proverbs 13 and verse 10. Only by pride cometh contention. So they're prideful. See, these guys are very proud. They're malicious, they're proud and arrogant. You see, these false apostles, these false prophets, that's who the light, that's where the Lord wants the light to be shining on right now. The workers of evil. You see, only by pride cometh contention, but with the well advised is wisdom. Wealth gone by vanity shall be diminished. And that's what they've gone. They've gone wealth and they've increased by vanity. You see, behold, these are the ungodly that increase in riches. It's not just talking about those that sold out and that are rappers and celebrities, and it's also guys in this truth. They sold themselves, man, and they're using this just to what? Deceive the masses, man, and to what? Not getting too deep into this. When the Lord said, get deep into it. The spirit, get into the spirit. The spirit seeketh the deep things of God. You see, you'll be more well found on a strong foundation. You'll be well rooted. You'll get deep into the earth. You see, deep into this truth. It says Proverbs 13 and verse 11. Wealth gone by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. And that's why they call this thing what? This labor of love that we're doing. So you brothers that are laboring, you're going to keep on increasing in spirit, in mind, right? And things in the outward too. Because the Lord said to Solomon, because he asked not for his enemies or woman or gold or whatever. He just asked for wisdom and knowledge to judge such a great people and judge righteously. The Lord was so well pleased with that. He gave him not just that, but also everything else too. You see, 1,000 women, the greatest kingdom ever. You see, and that's what the Lord's about to do for his bride, his elect. It says, wealth gone by vanity shall be diminished. And that's what's happening. They're being diminished. They're getting weaker. Just heavy. Even as a dollar gets weaker, they're getting weaker. But he that gathereth by labor shall increase. You see, so the elect are increasing while the wicked, right, those that are sold out and are not sincere, but are contentious and strifeful, and putting that spirit on our people to be contentious and strifeful, not content for the truth and defend the gospel, but actually like try to defend their own selves and their flesh, and yeah, you know, in that fighting, you know, nigga spirit. Oh, let's bang the ones. You know, that's not the spirit of the Lord, man. That's how a lot of guys push on our people. And that word increase is a Hebrew word rabah, meaning to become great, become numerous, multiply, to increase greatly. See, so also means to shoot. So Lord, he's shooting his arrows, you see, and they're becoming a great mountain. You see, a small seed, a great tree. All praises, glory, honor, faith, Yahweh, Shem, Yahushua, Bashim, Kakodash. Destruction, demise, all the anti-Yahushas, man. This is your time. This is the hour of the power of your darkness. But after this 11th hour, midnight coming, Yahushua is going to shine the light on all the wicked man. It's going to destroy you. Shalom to all you warriors out there. Keep strong, keep fighting, keep pursuing, keep persevering through it all. Hey, shalom.